You are listening to CrossTalk, a safe place to discuss addiction, recovery, harm reduction, and everything in between. Support for this podcast comes from the Kentucky Opioid Response Effort and Advocates of Recovery. Content and production by the team at Turning Point Recovery Community Center. Now, buckle up and get ready for the show.
Welcome everyone to CrossTalk Recovery, the recovery podcast that supports all forms of recovery. I'm Matt Lewis, and I'm here with
Sam Peterson.
Brandon Fitch.
Welcome, guys. This is the first time in our new studio, the first podcast we're recording since we redesigned it for those who watch. And Brandon hates it, but
No, I don't hate it. There's 52 people that watch. Okay, so let's just
right.
I don't hate it. I mean the color of the couches and the chairs are pretty cool. They pop.
Yeah, no, I think it's cozy. It's more of a hang. You know, we got these arms here with the microphones. You know, here's the thing. You told me to do some graffiti, and then you disappeared for a week.
And this is what happened.
Is there a way we can get a survey monkey, thing after the viewing of the podcast?
I will admit it looks like a kindergarten's playroom. I will give you that.
Kindergartners would have done a better job.
Yeah. I think
is that an octopus back there, or is that Grimace from the McDonald's scene?
I don't know what that is. Listen, I came in here with some spray paint and I had some fun.
Terrible idea.
That's what I did. And
I've seen 12th graders do a better graffiti job.
I think it's fun.
No, you did a good job.
I just can't believe you got paid to do it.
That is the surprising part.
And he got to come in some offbeat clothes, so he could get a little dirty. And then the excuse was, well, Brandon's not going to be here today, so wear whatever you want to.
And you know what? I still wore a recovery shirt, and you know.
How do you define the recovery shirt?
It was the overdose awareness shirt.
Oh, okay. That was a good. Whoever designed that was amazing. Just saying.
It's all right.
It was an all right T-shirt. Better than the wall.
As we were setting these up, Matt
better than those recovery walk T-shirts.
Those are nice too.
Yeah, they are.
In fact, we still see both of them being worn all the time, not by staff.
Yeah, you do.
Which we got to design a whole new one too, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll do a great job.
You trying to say I don't want anybody's input?
Yeah, I admittedly, you're a control freak.
Yeah,
with trust issues.
I have reason for that.
Let's just be honest. You know what? Honestly,
there's evidence.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. I think all of us, as former addicts,
most definitely
have that in our.
We have trust issues. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And control issues. I mean, both.
Yeah. But that being said, you haven't watched or reviewed the last 3 or 4 podcasts.
That is growth.
I just feel like that you just have so much trust in me, and that's why.
That's exactly what it is.
Has nothing to do with you're too busy.
That's exactly. You've just hit the nail on the head. Trust 100%. It has nothing to do with lack of time.
You realize all the growth that is.
There's been a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Well, you did say "sir" the other day.
I said "sir."
That was.
I don't.
Interesting. It was painful to watch for most everybody in the room, but it was.
I
know that
a round of applause afterwards. That's pretty impressive with this group.
Right. We can pull the security camera footage up too, and maybe pull that.
You're my boss. I'm learning to communicate better. Trying to show respect where it's earned.
took a year and a half to earn it, and hey, I respect that. I do.
Yeah.
He has grown a lot, though.
A lot.
In the beginning, it was, I'm going to go ahead and go home. 3 hours or no. Where's Matt? He went home. Well, I just figured it was time to go.
Speaking of which, can I go home early today?
What time did you come in?
I clocked in at 10:30. There's 3 of us this evening, so I figure I'll leave at 7:30.
I figure I'll leave. This
is why I'm asking you right now.
On tape.
I don't want to get overtime. I mean,
I appreciate that. Yeah. And when you talk about growth,
it comes and goes.
It comes and goes, ebbs and flows.
Right.
Penicillin also grows, and little mildew. Yeah.
And it's very helpful.
People have said I'm like a fungus that just kind of grow on you.
I thought they just meant that because you're a fun guy. Where's the drum roll? You don't know which one it is.
Actually, I have this
Try
thing.
one.
I have this thing. Okay.
Probably appropriate.
I need to like use this to mark what the buttons are so that I can.
You knew which one you're hitting.
Nah, I wish. But yeah, so I had you guys on today because I'm in charge of who comes on here.
Control. Yes. Yeah.
Because of the Matter van that we have coming, which is why Sam's back to be the program coordinator for the Matter van, our mobile outreach to recovery van. And I think we mentioned it on a recent podcast.
Yep.
And we wanted to have Brandon on, who knows more about it, because Sam doesn't know.
Well, I'm learning. Steve.
Sam's learning.
I know.
Yeah. We brought him on just to. You want me to explain it now?
Well, I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say I'm really excited about it because I love doing the outreach. I love being out in the community. I love trying to reach out to surrounding counties that I know that, there's need for that in the rural setting, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to do that. I think Sam's a great guy to do it. Everybody likes Sam,
Well,
I'm excited.
We need to do another survey on that.
Well, everybody. Okay, you're right. And but I'm excited because I think we get to wear T-shirts and jeans and shorts.
And
That's not the only reason.
And that was literally written into the grant.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Pretty cool. But yeah, I do want to know more about it. So, Brandon, what do you got?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the whole idea was, and see, we're in McCracken County. That's the western part of Paducah, or I'm sorry, western part of Kentucky. And our agency serves the 9 most western counties. And as an RCC or a recovery community center, we're open. We have a brick and mortar establishment called Turning Point, which you guys have talked about so many times. That's who presents this podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's open to anybody who wants to come in and have recovery supports and just be part of something bigger and be able to have a safe place to go. Now, the 9 most the 9 most rural counties in our area don't have that. So what we want to do is create something to bring that to them. We have this saying called "meet them where they're at," and usually that's used as a metaphor. Meet them where they're at in their recovery. If they've just made a decision to seek help, if they're contemplating seeking help, if they're already far along in the recovery but just need support, that's meeting where they're at. But we also wanted to literally meet them where they're at. So we wrote this grant that came up. Thelma and I, she's our vice president of clinical services, sat down for days upon days upon days and wrote this grant to get a mobile unit, like a Sprinter style van, deck the inside out with almost a session room, couch, really nice looking and comfortable. That way we can talk to people one-on-one while we're out there. Fill it up with harm reduction kits like Narcan, fentanyl test strips, some things that people might need who might be unhoused, snacks, first aid kits, socks, underwear, stuff like that. And be able to go to these rural areas, literally open up shop, do a meeting while we're there, just be able to provide that same awesome service that you guys provide at the RCC here in these rural areas. So we're really excited about doing that, and I think it's going to bring a lot of good to the area. Plus, not to mention, we're going to see so many people who are going to reach out for help or know who to reach out to help to in a moment of crisis. And if they know when we're going to be there, granted, they're not going to have a crisis while we're there or when we plan to be there, but they may, right? And we're going to be able to bridge those people to treatment right away, or at least they're going to meet somebody, and then they'll know who to call and reach out to when they're ready to go to treatment or get some sort of service. So really excited about that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Sam, you excited about it?
Man, it's anytime you can put recovery in front of more people, it's a good thing. And I mean, that's all people. I think it's important for people who are struggling, and I think it's important for the community to meet people in recovery. And that's the thing I'm looking forward to. Is just it's really good to get out in the community and help fight some of the stigma that goes along with drug and alcohol addiction as well. And I think it's good for any community to see people in recovery doing well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And people who are struggling out in these areas with transportation to get to where there's services like this or don't know how to reach out for help. It's just like putting it in their face and being like, here, do you need help? Here's what we offer. Here's who you can reach out to. All those things that are so, so good for what people need. They don't have that where they're at a lot of times. And
well, if you live in the city, the resources are there. You know where to go to. It's usually right down the street, downtown, somewhere. I mean, if you look around the Paducah area, there's a lot of places to go in the Paducah area. You get outside of the Paducah area, and it starts becoming limited.
Yeah.
So the more we can put these resources we have in front of people in rural communities, and there's some, I mean, it's a big area, but it's going to be fun getting out there and meeting people and hopefully bringing recovery to people, and not only bringing it to them, maybe helping it stay in that area and get stuff started,
Yeah. Yeah, lots of opportunity from growth for this. So much opportunities to help people. I love it, man. I'm excited for it.
In Western Kentucky, we talk about these in all of these state meetings that I'm on, and meeting with some of the national folks who support these recovery ventures. Western Kentucky in general is just on board with recovery.
Yeah.
And Western Kentucky really is. We talk to people outside of our state, and they're just surprised and amazed how much the state has to offer. And knowing that we have all these resources, being the recovery community center that we are, we're kind of like Switzerland. We're a hub of information and resources for anybody seeking recovery for whatever pathway they want. And taking us to them, first bump on the microphone there, taking us to them, taking our information, our database, our knowledge base to them, is really going to help connect some dots, and that's really what makes a big difference, because these resources are there. Like Sam was saying, they're here in Paducah, they're in different places, but they're there, and giving somebody that recovery capital, reducing stigma while we're at it, putting people with lived experience who have recovered, out there for just some role model experience, is just going to make such a huge difference. It really is.
Yeah.
McCracken County itself, which is where we're at, along with our efforts and the coalitions that we work with, like Opioid Task Force, the McCracken County ASAP, the Purchase District Health Department, programs with the major hospitals like Lourdes and Mercy and Western Baptist, have put so much effort into harm reduction in our area that we saw a huge decrease in overdose fatalities and an increase in recovery supports in McCracken County. Unfortunately, some of the surrounding counties in our area have seen a drastic increase in overdose fatalities, and they're surpassing McCracken County, which McCracken County is one of the larger counties in our area.
Yeah.
And it's sad, it's terrible, but it also shows us there's such a need out there. Mm-hmm. There's such a need for us to take what we've done here in McCracken County and put that in those rural areas. Because hope,
Yes.
hope it's spray painted over there. Matt did a good job on that. Providing these individuals with hope is so important. It really is.
Absolutely. And, not only are we going to be able to get our name out there more and help more people, but I think it's going to be really good for us as a team. Like, one of my favorite parts of what we do is the outreach, is being able to get out in the community and meet people where they're at, I know we'll be doing testing with the van, we'll be able to do one-on-ones in the van, just get them to services if they need it. And, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a time of growth for us, as peer support specialists, So I'm looking forward to that myself, and I know some of the other staff members are as well.
Oh, yeah, when we're seeing people in an uncontrolled environment, we see people come in here very uncontrolled sometimes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're in a controlled environment. When we get to work with people in an uncontrolled environment, it's going to be challenging. It's like you said, it's going to help us all grow, strengthen our resource network.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. And it's going to show the community that there's somebody out there that cares.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's the big part right there is you're going to have, we're already identifying at-risk neighborhoods in each county around us. We're looking at census data. We're looking at a variety of different things. Most importantly, we're taking feedback from our people, from our consumers, from our clients.
Yes.
Like, hey, what's going on in this county? Because we know you were there more recently than we were, right?
Right.
Where's a hot spot? Where are places that might need some help? So those are those uncontrolled environments that we're going to try to get into safely, and see what we can do. It's going to be interesting, I'm sure. It's going to have its challenges. We're going to learn a lot as we go, but there's already other places that are doing something similar throughout the state, and they're seeing huge success with it. Just like the SSP conversation we had, the syringe exchange program. It's so much more than the van. It's so much more than the Narcan we hand out. That's important, though. It's so much more than the socks that we hand out or the underwear we hand out. It's the person handing those things out.
Yes.
That's the most valuable asset that we put out there. That's you guys. That's the most valuable thing that we can put out there because that's the person the individual's meeting, and they know, hey, I can reach out to Sam. I can reach out to Matt when shit's hitting the fan.
We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, did you know it's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland because they get lonely? Here at Turning Point, we don't want you to ever be lonely either. That's why we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Always feel free to come hang with our friendly staff, and don't forget your guinea pig. We're located at 415 Broadway Street, downtown Paducah.
Did you know that recovery from substance use disorder and mental health go hand in hand? That is why the caring and compassionate mental health professionals at Four Rivers Behavioral Health in Paducah are here to help you find your balance. They are proud of you for making the changes necessary to live a healthier life and would love to see you reach your full potential. Give them a call at 270-442-7121 or stop by the downtown location at 425 Broadway in Paducah, Kentucky.
It's amazing when you go out there and get to work with people and a smile and a pat on the back and telling somebody how it's going to be okay. I've been here too. What you can see in people's faces.
Yeah, it goes a long way for sure.
And it's the beauty of being a peer support specialist. I think is getting to help people and coming from a place of because I was there too. Somebody had to reach out and help me, and to be able to take that to a larger area, help more people, hopefully not miss people. Because there's people out there that need help and they just don't know where to go, and I think that's what the van is. It's somewhere where you can take it to them mobily and also help people know where to go to find help. I know since COVID, some of the communities have been almost recovery dark as far as meetings and things of that nature.
Yeah.
There's some of the counties have not had any. If you're struggling, unless you have a car or a ride, it's you don't have anywhere to go. And if you're out there like me, you might not have a car or a ride, or nevertheless, you're just hoping to sleep on somebody's couch. So a car or a ride might be too much. So that's what I look forward to. Helping more people.
Recovery dark. You said it right there. Like there were so many meetings in Mayfield, and the tornado happened. There were so many meetings throughout the entire region, and then COVID happened. Right. And it was. It just shut a lot of them down.
It did.
So our other goal is to try to take meetings to them and smart recovery. Everybody just went through a very good training to facilitate or train them and certify them as facilitators of smart recovery. And if you guys haven't heard of smart recovery, everybody here has, but if you haven't, who's listening or watching, smartrecovery.org. Is that right? It's an awesome way of getting some recovery, self-help support groups or mutual aid support groups. That's science-based. It's not anti-AA. It's not anti-NA. It's not anti-religion like some people have thought before. Right. It is just pro-recovery. It is pro-recovery. And smart recovery kind of looks at recovery as this happy house. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what door you come in. They just want you to come in through a door. and give it a try. So that's the idea, is we're going to try to take these smart recovery meetings to different counties and get them going, and then maybe find some people that can facilitate and host them, and then carry that on long term.
Yeah, I've been certified to facilitate for a while now before this training. And by the way, SMART stands for Self-Management and Recovery Training. All right. And, those meetings have been a lot of fun. Anybody who attends them loves them. It's more of an open discussion. CrossTalk is encouraged, so people just come, and there's so many times that people who are not facilitating can help someone else because they're uniquely have gone through the same thing someone else has gone through that I maybe not have gone through. So then there are a lot of fun. People feel more relaxed. Ours have been more small, so people feel usually more relaxed in a smaller meeting, but I'm hoping to see them grow. I know we're going to start gearing some of our other meetings into that style. So, yeah, I think that's really cool to think about doing it out there on a nice sunny day, by the van, doing a smart recovery meeting. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Man, just stay open-minded with your recovery. That's what I tell people. I can do too little, but I don't think I can ever do too much. I
don't know. This past couple of weeks, I felt like I've done too much.
You may have done too much the last couple of weeks.
Not like I used to, but but we'll circle back around to the uniforms.
Yeah. Well, I started to design them months ago, and then now Brandon wants to take control of that as well. So
there's benefits to, for people that don't know or have not met Brandon,
he does a great job.
He does an incredible job. And he does like to micromanage a little. But the beautiful thing about that is when you're coming into a position and it's brand new, he's already has it all figured out. You just kind of got to fall in line and then just move right through. So it's very beneficial.
If you see the eye twitch, you're like, I'm going to swerve back this way a little bit.
Yeah. I'll come back later.
I have asked you about brain aneurysms a couple times, I think. I know you put a lot on your plate. And like I said, as you learn to trust people more, it'll be easier for you.
You see, and I've let go a little bit on the reviewing of the podcast. You've slipped a few through. Which caused me to add a few more weeks onto that review process. We're not going to mention
what
that.
You're talking about.
But anyway, circling back to the uniforms, the idea was when we wrote this grant, right? We had no idea we were going to get funded for it. We had no idea we were going to get approved. We wrote 2 different grants. A very unhealthy amount of time spent working together. Thelma and I. She's the narrative person, right? She's really good with coming up with phrases and putting sentences together in paragraph. I'm not, right? I'm the numbers and data and all of that stuff. So yeah, she was reading while I was trying to type, and when you're typing in your own head and then doing it, it's fine. But when you have somebody else talking and you're trying to type, it it takes forever. But the idea was to make, of course, the grant and the idea of the grant and the action, I guess, of it was to put people in a real life situation. So having us go out there wearing, khakis and dress shoes and polos might be okay, but, dressed up like we're going to the office is not necessarily the best thing to do right. If we pull up and are trying to relate to individuals, right?
Right.
Most of them won't necessarily be in recovery long term at that point. They might be thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to do hoodies, some beanies. Sam loves beanies.
Yeah. Well, did you order any double extra large beanies?
Mm-hmm.
This is a big head.
That's a big head.
Giant head. I know. Look at those headphones too. They're
screaming right now.
Well, they're making like the McDonald's arch. But you need to have a.
I'm the reason that on fitted or on the snapbacks it says one size fits most.
Yeah, poor thing. We're gonna call them the struggle headphones. Stuff like that. That way you guys can go out there and just look comfortable, be comfortable, and look relatable, right? Because if
that's the excuse I use to push the boundaries of the dress code all the time. I'm the most relatable one here.
Relatable and debatable sound like, you know. Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, I just like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
We know you.
Those are nice dress shoes you have too.
Yeah.
See all the other podcasts, they can't see your pants, they can't see the cargo pants.
Most of the time, I'm not wearing pants.
We'll leave that one alone.
Yep. I was going to chime
just probably shouldn't.
Nah, I just did
you can keep that in there. You know, that's fine. But I would just.
I think it's funny because it's not true.
Well,
we've seen you do like the single session ones where you're like, come back later, or here's a music video, or the table's gone now.
No, the table is gone.
And if you're wondering, he's wearing hiking boots. And
I don't know about this.
That table's garbage.
Table. Yeah. Like, I was scared to put my feet on it.
Yeah.
But
just don't let Sam put his hat on it.
It looks nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it look nice? It looks nice on camera. Yeah, because he's got a big head most of the time.
It's so heavy. It's good. It's good.
Man, I can't say anything because I know it's all true.
But he can't reach that with his coffee. He probably could, but the good news is
I didn't even bring it in today.
Your coffee cup. If you guys haven't watched all of the CrossTalk podcasts on video on YouTube, you should, right?
Yeah,
and you should go back to. There was one, you're gonna have to find it. I don't remember which one it was, where Sam is constantly like in this, and then these were they were on the table, so every vibration that hit the table was going to come straight through the microphone. So Sam was constantly putting his mug down, and you can just see Matt completely imploding. And it was beautiful to watch. Like, it was absolutely beautiful to watch. But he was just like, "Are you kidding me? One more time?" It was like 7 times in. Finally, he just broke character for a minute.
Yeah. Shot a look at the camera.
Speaking of characters, what was that last one you did? Who was that character you did?
What, the Drug Court podcast?
Yeah.
Has that aired yet?
No, it comes out Monday.
But
this will be out way after that.
You're right. So say the date, just in case somebody gets confused.
It'll be out on 4/3, April 3rd, Monday. I guess they come out at 3 p.m. That's what I've figured out, roughly.
Okay.
And, it was a fun one, man. We had Drug Court participants on, and I played a character, John Dope.
How do you spell that?
DOEP.
Okay, all right.
And an early drug court participant, and they had to convince me why drug court is good and cares, and it was a lot of fun. So, you'll probably already seen it by the time you're hearing this, but if not, go back and watch it.
You never did. You weren't in drug court, were you?
No,
you never had to do that.
But I
Mr.
feel
Mean
like
it. You were
I feel
old
now
Mr.
like
Mean
I
it.
have been.
I don't ask a person if that works or saying that. Like,
but I'm just saying, like, working at Turning Point, chairing meetings, hearing the complaints, successes, all the things they go through. I mean, I haven't had to do those things, but I feel like I've lived drug court vicariously through them.
Has it been fun?
No, it sounds terrible.
No, it's
It's not.
No, it's actually great.
for somebody new in recovery.
I love how they come in complaining, and a month or two later, they're saying they're grateful for drug court.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way
and
it always
helps them
goes.
to find that structure, that rhythm, that routine that so much of us need early in recovery.
Yeah. I went through the same with the drug court. We both went through drug court. Like, you hate it in the beginning because
It's
like,
horrible.
it's terrible. They want me to do things for myself.
I've got a curfew.
I have to get a job, and if I don't get a job, I have to do community service. And not only that, I have 13 hours a week of this, and this I've got to do. Plus, I have to call in every single morning and find out if I have a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, after some time, you start feeling better about yourself, and then all these cool things start happening. That's
the great thing about it. They all shared a little bit how they got out of jail and were in drug court and ended up in sober livings or wherever. But now they're all have their own places, have good jobs, have long lengths of sobriety, happiness. Those. And I love being able to share that and inspire other people.
So that word happiness, I'm just curious. How did you guys get happiness?
How did I get happiness?
Yeah,
man.
Slowly but surely.
It was slow because I know when I went to treatment this last time, I was not happy to be there for a while. I was not.
This last time?
Yeah. But slowly. I think slowly is the key. And it just kind of happens. I don't know. I can't put my finger on exactly when it happened, but I'm going through the steps. I'm also doing therapy with a therapist the way I was supposed to be doing it in a controlled environment. And somewhere along the way,
when do you do therapy in an uncontrolled environment?
Well, I mean, like a very controlled environment.
Therapy.
You know, like they were making sure I was going.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, you're hitting your appointments.
Yeah. You know, I do that on my own nowadays, but at that point in time, I definitely have not before.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
and as I'm working on myself, then I start, helping other people. And when I started helping other people, my happiness started in there.
We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. You want to know something? My biggest issue with meetings is despite their name, they're never about me. Here at Turning Point, all of our meetings are for you and about you. We have meetings at least 3 times a day, 7 days a week. We are located at 415 Broadway, Paducah, Kentucky. Call 270-444-3621 for more information.
As a woman in recovery, I know how important having a fellowship of women has been for me. Come join us at the Women of Worth All Recovery Support Group here at Turning Point, 415 Broadway, Paducah, Kentucky, every Friday night at 6 p.m., where we discuss our personal experiences in recovery. Hope to see you there.
That's what I was going to say, man. For me, it was like finding purpose in life, feeling good and healthy. That helped a lot, not being sick all the time. But just finding purpose, and building a life in sobriety that, like, I always thought it was going to be boring and I'd be miserable and nobody's doing it. And all those things I've talked about many times are so wrong. So it's just like coming in, building that life back. All the things I do outside of work that I enjoy doing, the hiking, the climbing, the exercise.
Why do you clock in for that?
Fellowship. I'm getting paid, bro. But the bowling nights that we, all that stuff that we do that makes me have a life that I enjoy, and then being able to give back and help others, that is so spiritually rewarding. And personally, for me, building a relationship with God has been a big part of it, my happiness. So,
how great is it to watch a guy or girl come in to the community center just absolutely wrecked, and just second by second struggling a little bit, but we get to watch all that growth through that amount of time, and then watch them get a place, get kids back, get a job, be happy about going to their job, all the things that happen along the way, and you get to play a small little role in this person's life, and the amount of happiness that can be gained from that is just it. You almost have to experience to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it is a blessing to be able to do that, and they pay us to do it, which is the amazing thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon, where do you get your happiness? Cats?
Well, no, I was just trying to figure out where you guys got it from. I didn't know.
I figured it was cats.
I'm not having too much luck with that here lately. Now, my sponsor, he's probably the best sponsor, better than any. I'm just kidding. He's a good sponsor, and he once told me in the very beginning of me learning the steps, learning recovery, learning what that was, is happiness isn't something that you go find. It's not something. It's not tangible. You don't go looking for it. It's a gift. It's a gift by doing the next right thing. It's a gift that you receive by helping other people out, just like exactly what you guys said. And that really bent my mind. I was like, wow. Because people go looking for a relationship, right? They go looking for happiness. They go looking for serenity. It's not something that you can go to Walmart and get. It's not on aisle J6. I checked on the app. It's not on there. There was something like it, but it wasn't the same thing. But it's a gift that you get by doing the next right thing. And it's so simple. It's so easy, but it just takes us doing the next right thing, which is tough for us to do as people in recovery. and don't be confused if you guys are listening or watching. Like, this is something that people get, regardless if you work in recovery or not. If you stick around recovery, you see people come into these meetings and these groups. You get to meet people that are wanting what you have, and you get to watch them grow. You know, and like Sam said, like you guys said, you can play a little part in that, whether it's just being an example. That's I'm trying not to say awesome, but that's awesome. It is.
And this is why.
Put the cats on the wheel. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. No matter how you chop it up, right? That's awesome.
It's Recovery Plus.
That's awesome. 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 Hey!
Oh, I nailed it. Good job.
That is awesome. Perfect timing.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
So.
No, but it is awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome.
I was just bringing out.
Awesome. That's pretty awesome. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. Chop, Mac, and chop it up. No matter how you chop it up, right? Like, yeah, there's no need for that. You know, that's where I get my happiness. I get my happiness every day like that. I get to see all that. So. And gratitude for sure.
Yes, and you know, for so long I tried to buy happiness, you know, which was buy.
How much did it cost?
You can't have enough money to buy happiness. That's what
all
I
of
found.
it.
All of it. And then, of course, searching through drugs and people and all those things, and you know, the old, I like to call it the Instagram happiness, make it look good from the outside. But
We weren't looking good from the outside.
No, not there at the end. No. Trying to paint that old house of cards, you know, it looks like a house, but it blows around way real easy. So.
Do you ever think about, like, it's awesome to, like you've said, to see other people grow and stuff, and you can kind of notice it in yourself, but I don't think you see it in yourself as much as other people see it in you.
Right.
I just wish I could have seen, like, what you guys saw and all the growth that I've had.
And you?
I just would like to, like, if I was be able to see it from the outside,
Listen,
see what you guys perceived me as when I got there.
Versus my honest answer?
No, versus my honest.
Do you
what
want
I
the
thought,
honest answer?
in my opinion of
there's no way
myself.
this guy's gonna
like,
make it.
Sam said something to me the other day. He was like, "Oh, you were so entitled," and I was like, "I didn't see myself as that at all." But that's how I came across to him. And then, you know, in our run-in, which we've talked about before.
I love how you call it a run-in.
Well, you came running up.
You want to be a smart ass, huh? I know what a smart ass is.
Exactly. But
we're allowed to say that on here.
Yes, we are.
But don't you think that would be cool to kind of see it from... You get
Do you
to
want
see
us
it
to
in
give
other
it to you
people.
right now, what we saw?
But I still wouldn't...
You don't want to hear it right now. Okay.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
You were
I just
rough.
think,
You were rough around the edges when you got
well,
there.
yeah.
Curmudgeon,
I think we all-
cantankerous. There's a lot of C words
those
I
are
could
some
use.
big
I'm not going
words.
to.
Yeah, ungrateful for sure.
One more.
No. No, he could, even from when, honestly, like, yeah, you got through the program, and a lot of people that were, I wasn't in the program with you. I was a member of management at that time, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, people that were around you looked up to you, and we couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
No, we know now.
Yeah, I never figured out why either.
The cool guy club. But you know, even after I got to really know you when you started working here. When he was like, well, I don't really want to work here, but I thought this would be good for me, you know. It was.
Yeah, now I love working here. I mean, it was being willing to do the things that maybe I didn't want to do that were going to be good for me.
And we've kept him around, and he stuck around and chose to stay around, and you know, that's seeing him. Are you ready for all this?
I guess I'll probably just edit it out if it's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah. We don't have to do all that. I was just saying it would have been cool to watch it from the, you know, maybe
from the outside.
Somebody had videotaped it. I wasn't seeking, like, you know,
validation.
Praise me.
I know.
Please leave that part in and replay it a few times. Validation.
Praise me.
Validation.
Praise me.
Praise me.
I do know the hardest part about when me and you were in Center Point, because we were just right there at the same time, was it was during COVID.
Oh,
and it was just, man, you couldn't leave.
Yeah. I mean, it was my first rehab. I didn't even know that I was gonna be able to leave if it wasn't COVID. I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, oh, we could have left if it wasn't COVID.
We didn't get to ride bikes, all those fun things you do while you're there.
No.
They were always mad at me and all the rest of the staff. That were like, well, you guys get to leave and go home. I'm like, we're not in rehab right now. We're working here. You know, it's a different story.
I asked us, like, can you just take us in the van around the block? Can we do that? Because I was so tired of seeing that property. They didn't get past either.
No, then we'd have to take everybody, and that's 100 people. That's a lot, you know.
They did start bringing us down to when Turning Point was located at a different place. And we could get on the computer and play video games and watch TV for a little bit. So that was a nice change. I didn't get to go to Midtown. They weren't doing that.
I haven't been since. It's an MT2.
Well, that's one of them that got lost during COVID. One of the meetings. Yeah.
But Brandon he was the first one who took us on a bike ride.
Mm-hmm. I was?
Didn't you? I remember
I took
the first time I got to go on a bike ride.
I took you guys on the bike ride up and around the soccer field or behind the soccer field. Yeah.
Yep, that was fun. And then I started doing it when I was a peer mentor, taking the guys out bike rides all the time.
Now they ride bikes constantly. So.
Now it's open up.
And they lost a whole generation of knowledge because as soon as, and this is like, when before COVID, it was like, okay, so the upper phase guys in treatment were responsible to teach the newer guys where to go in town and by riding bikes, like how to get there. So once COVID was done and the lockdown was over, nobody knew how to get anywhere. Nobody. Like, they were lost. They were like, okay, you guys can go. And we're like, where? They don't have GPS because they can't have phones. Right. I made these maps for every meeting. Do you remember those?
I do.
And it was the best I could do because I wasn't going to take everybody everywhere. And I know a few of the others, like Ray wasn't, or Charles wasn't, or Bundy weren't. You know, none of them were. So we made these maps with the meeting times, and we're like, good luck. You know, best wishes and make it back on time, or you're going to have building restriction.
Don't get lost.
So there's a whole generation of knowledge was just wiped out because of COVID, amongst many other things that were going on. But they're getting back to it, though.
Yeah,
they're getting back to it.
Seeming like
what if I do if I get lost? Figure it out. Ask somebody for directions. I don't know. Good luck. You know,
just be grateful you get to get out, man.
Yeah, and most of them were. I don't think I was. I think I had come over here. No, I was still there when we started opening it back up. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, it was good times.
Yeah.
Me and Matt were neighbors pretty much. You know, we had that. We were on the wing where there's only the 6 rooms. So the land where nobody ever goes, basically.
Listen, I knew exactly where you lived, and I knew where you lived because I would do my rounds with the staff. And before I walked up the hall or up the stairwell, which let me tell you right now, the stairwell is a good 50 yards probably.
Oh yeah,
from your room. So not only is there a floor of metal, drywall, sheetrock, insulation, 2x4s, some 2x12s, I'm sure. In between that, the downstairs, you were upstairs, downstairs plus a hallway, I could hear you snoring.
Yes.
And you knew Sam was in his room because you can hear him snoring. Well, and then, or your guitar playing, but usually him snoring first.
Well, honestly, my roommate was a really bad snorer too, and it was right before Sam's room, so like that whole hallway just echoed snores. My roommate actually, he didn't snore, he roared, and he would not breathe for like 2 minutes, and then he would just scream. He would talk in his sleep and say crazy things.
I'm only going to take partial responsibility for that because I was trying to go to the doctor for a CPAP machine, and I couldn't because of COVID.
Yeah.
As soon as I could get one, I got one. You know,
he did. Yeah.
But poor fella that I roomed with. You know,
poor guy. He got less sleep than you did.
Oh, I'm sure.
I remember I did not know Sam. With 2 funny stories, real quick. I did not know Sam when he came in the program. I'd be up there teaching class, right? And I was on his ass. He was always in class. Like, if you're asleep, smack the table every once in a while, which you're not allowed to do that anymore, I don't think.
I don't think so.
You're definitely not allowed to throw big books at him. I didn't do that.
No.
That we know of. But always on him. And then I never really, he always said, well, it's just a thing I do. I'm like, sure, because you just assume everybody's lying to you about whatever they got going on. And then when he finally made it to the peer mentor office, and he was in there, and he was, I think he was like lead peer mentor or head peer mentor, or what do you call it?
I've been there the longest,
right? Senior peer mentor.
Yeah.
And he was sitting at the end of the table in the supervisor's position because that person was on vacation or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just out. And I'm like, Sam, wake up.
Every morning while I was in there with him, we would do our morning meditation. Everyone's going around talking. Sam would be sleeping, snoring. But amazingly, like I've said before, every time I'd get to Sam, he'd wake up and share like he'd been listening to the whole time.
Which means that you're the best BS artist that we know. Because you can wake up out of a dead sleep and carry on the conversation that's already been going on in the room. Impressive.
It is.
If you and it's just as somebody that we respect says all the time, as long as you use that for good, not bad, then it's okay. Right?
Yes, that's what she told me.
And another story, we recommended that my predecessor hire Sam over here at Turning Point.
This is a good one.
and we can talk about this because they're okay with it. And between him and Nathan, so Sam has sleep apnea, right? Mm-hmm. And Nathan has some residual movement control issues,
right,
with his head. Mm-hmm. Some call it post-acute withdrawal syndrome. He's got a little bit of a twitch. Mm-hmm. That you have to know, and then all of a sudden you catch on to it. You're like, oh, okay. Which is why some of these things were crooked in the last podcast, because you were taking his left and rights a little too seriously.
I hung these by myself, and they're straighter than with Nathan.
Right. So Shamika, my predecessor, love her to death, she called me one day and she said, listen, I really appreciate you sending over great qualified individuals for me to hire. But I would really also appreciate if you let me know that they have certain quirks. Because in the same meeting, apparently, and they just started, Sam's over here nodding off in the middle of the meeting. Nathan's twitching. She doesn't know them, nor does she know what they've got going on. So as a supervisor working with the people in recovery, you just assume sometimes somebody may have a return to use, and she thought two of them were having a return to use at the same time. So it was funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, just hadn't got my machine yet. It's a process.
He's just sleepy.
Yeah.
Just a sleepy little guy.
That's hilarious.
Which I will say, those CPAP machines are amazing, because I no longer do that anymore. It's been a long time. But
you're not going to try that surgical one?
Nah, man. It's no reason to have surgery if the machine works.
Yeah, true. You don't have those marks on your face anymore.
Yeah, I guess I've gotten used to more.
Look like a Klingon when you come in
the mornings.
Did you have to get a special one built for that head?
No, they made them. They made them that big, man. It's they have different sizes.
Well, they have different size beanies too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's why I said you had to get some extra large beanies. I had to get an extra large headgear.
He just bought himself some headphones. He stretched them out too.
Yeah,
those little ones. Had to pull those wires apart.
Yeah, poor Shamika.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm really looking forward to the Matter Van. It's always fun talking old times.
Yeah.
And y'all be on the lookout for it. Matter Van.
It's gonna be ceramic gray.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the time this airs, we should have it.
Hopefully, we should have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Should be any day now, so we're looking forward to that. Getting her on the road and getting to work,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It'll say MATR on the side, just so you know. Yeah. Matter. Like you matter, because you do.
You do.
Yeah. Yes, they do. All right. Well, check us out on YouTube or our audio versions on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. And as always, stay grateful.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction or in recovery and needs guidance, speak with Turning Point's team of peer support specialists by calling 270-444-3621. You are not alone. and we are proof that recovery is possible.